idea how disks are structured or where your storage is going, you are not alone. In this video, I'm going to show you the simplest way to understand and manage disk in Linux step by step. If you would like to follow along, I've included a link to try Linode for free in the video description so that you can practice this yourself. Now let's move into the terminal and get started. Before we change anything, we need to see what disk exists on the system first. And we do that with the lsbok command. Linux is showing us every storage device and how it's divided. In this instance, SDA is my main disk, and then SDC is an additional disk with no partitions yet. Put it in a real-world scenario, when a server is first provisioned, this is the first command you will run to confirm the disk layout. However, a disk is not usable until it is mounted. Mounting connects it to the file system. So we're going to do df-h, and this shows what is actively being used on my machine, and it displays storage in a human-readable format. So we are seeing which partitions are actually available on my system. If a system starts running slow or applications start to fail, checking disk space will be one of your first steps in troubleshooting. Now, a disk must be divided into partitions before it can be used. To do that, we will use the command sudo fdisk and the partition, which is going to be dev SDC in my case. And this opens up the fdisk tool. So we're going to pass it in for a new partition. This is going to be the primary, P for primary. This is going to be 1 for partition 1, and we're going to accept the defaults for the sizes. And then we pass a W to write the changes. And so we created a usable section of this disk, and writing the changes to it saves it permanently. So we're telling Linux how to divide up this extra disk I have. Oftentimes you'll add new storage drives for server logs, backups, and even application data. Now, formatting prepares the partition with a file system so Linux can store data. To format the drive, we're going to do sudo mkfs.ext4. ext4 is the most common Linux file system. And the path to the partition, which was dev/sdc for me. Yours may be different. And we'll hit enter. I'll ask if we're sure. We're going to say yes. And this step makes the partition usable. So we're setting up how files will be stored and organized. So if you added an extra drive to store logs or backups or data files, we would need to prepare the storage before using it for the application. So now we need to mount the partition. Mounting connects the storage to a folder so it can be accessed. So we do sudo make directory/data. And then we're going to do sudo mount/dev SDC for me. And the data directory we just created, make sure you include the slash. Make sure you include the slash, since what we created had a slash in front of it. We'll press enter. And so now /data is linked to our partition. And we can verify that by doing df-h. And now I see my partition linked to /data. And so now we can read and write files here, because the system now treats this disk like part of its own file system. And this would be the same as mounting storage for application data or backups and shared directories. Now, as it stands right now, if this machine was to reboot, we may not get that mount back automatically. So we want to make it permanently so it will reappear during a reboot. And to do that, we add the mount to the FS tab. And we simply run sudo nano etc fs tab. And at the very end of this file, we're going to do the path to the external drive, which is SDC in my case, and then the mounting point of it, which is /data. We're going to do the file type, which is ext4. We're going to tell it to do the defaults, and save and exit. Now, a piece of professional advice: always test this mount before rebooting the machine. And you do that by sudo umount/data, and that's going to disconnect the mount you made earlier. And so now you should be able to do sudo mount-a, which will run through the F tab and remount everything. Now this just told me I need to reload the daemon for it, so now I'm going to do sudo systemctl daemon have reload. And so I'll just up back here. So I'll just up arrow back to the mount command, hit enter, and this time no output means it was successful. And again, we can verify this by doing df-h, and we'll see it here at the bottom. So one mistake we see a lot is permission denied to mount into directories. And so if I do ls-alert/data right now, you'll see it's owned by root. So I would probably have a permission denied error myself. So I need to change permissions. And I'm going to do sudo shown -r so that it works its way all the way down the data directory. And I'm going to tell it just my user. Sorry, I need space there. So I'm going to do $user for the owner. I'm going to do $user for the group and the data directory. So now, if I ls-r data, I'm the owner and I'm the group. So that should fix any permission errors I see. The second biggest mistake I see is it not mounting like it's supposed to in the FS tab. Always be sure that you run the commands unmount and then sudo mount -a to test the F tab configuration when using the F tab, the FS tab. And the third mistake I see made a lot is the extra disk you added not showing up yet. You need to run lsblk for list block and look for the extra disk you've added. Sometimes you need to do sudo fdisk-l to look at the actual physical disk partition itself. So to put this in a real world example, let's say we're running a web server and logs are starting to fill up on the main disk. Instead of risking downtime, you could add a new disk, partition it, format it, then mount it to something like var/log or data/logs even, and now our system runs clean and storage is separated properly. This is a very common task in real IT environments. Once you're comfortable with this, the next step is learning about UUIDs. Instead of mounting straight to the directory like we did earlier in FS tab, you can use a unique ID for the device itself that will never change to mount the partition. And to get that, you would run blkid. This makes your mounts more reliable in real-world environments. Disk management looks complex, but once you break the steps down, it becomes very straightforward. If you found this video helpful, please leave a comment below and share it with someone else learning Linux. And I will see you in the next one.